Jungkook works an advertising company. Although he's not a millionaire, he earns a decent income. Despite his charitable donation, he manages to own two cars, live in his own house, and even open three restaurants to increase his income and be able to donate more. His soft spot for orphanage children comes from his own experience as an orphan. He lived in an orphanage until he was 18 and knows the pain of never being chosen by a family. This connection drives him to donate 30% of his income to orphanages. When he hears about Wine, a special child in need, he decides to take responsibility of her medical expenses. Although he is known for not showing off and has declined many invitations from orphanages to visit and be thanked, he feels a strong urge to meet Wine in person. As Jungkook arrives at the orphanage, the caretaker leads him to Wine's personal room. The caretaker calls out to Wine but receives no response. Jungkook eyes scan the room until he spots Wine sitting in a corner, crying and burying her face in her knees. He approaches her gently and sits down beside her. Jungkook asks softly, "Why are you crying, little girl?" His tone is gentle, showing his concern. Wine, still crying and not looking up, replies in a broken voice, "No one wants to adopt me." Her voice is filled with sorrow and resignation. Jungkook, moved by her sadness and his own experiences, responds with a reassuring promise, "I will adopt you." He makes a decision on the spot, feeling a deep connection with Wine's pain. Ryan looks up surprised and hopeful and asks, "Really?" Her eyes search his face for sincerity. Jungkook smiles warmly and extends his hand, saying, "I am Jungkook, Jungkook John." His smile is inviting, aiming to comfort her. Ryan, feeling shy but intrigued, introduces herself. "I am Ryan. I don't know my surname." She hesitates but then shakes his hand, her eyes palpable. Jungkook stands up and helps her to her feet, stating, "From now on, you will be Jeon Wine." His gestures is both kind and official. Turning to the caretaker, Jungkook instructs, "Miss Sui, please prepare the pears and you pack your bags. You are coming home with me." His tone is earning and gentle. Overwhelmed with joy, Wine forgets her tears and starts jumping around happily. She whispers her new name, Jeon Wine, with a beaming smile, thrilled about her new life. Later, when the paperwork is ready, Wine signs the documents. Her eyes linger on the title Father and Daughter, and Jungkook notices her hesitation. He leans and reassures her softly, "I know it seems strange, but it's just for paperwork. Don't worry, I won't be your father." Once they arrive at Jungkook's home, it wasn't planned for Wine to move in so suddenly. He shows her to a guest room and apologizes. "I am sorry, Wine, but can you please stay here for now? I'll have your room ready in a week." He asks, his tone is apologetic and accommodating. "It's okay." She hesitated, unsure of the right term given their age difference. Jungkook, sensing her confusion, offers, "You can call me Oppa. It's okay. Think me of as your older brother." Wine, with a shy yet enthusiastic tone, asks, "Angel, can I call you Angel?" Her eyes lit up with hope. Jungkook raises his eyebrows in curiosity and asks, "Angel? Why?" "Because you came into my life like an angel. Please, please, Wine explains with a hopeful smile. Her tone is earnest and full of admiration. Jungkook chuckles at her request, finding it endearing, and says, "All right. All right, you can call me that if you want." "Thank you, Angel. You're so sweet." Jungkook, laughing, says, "Okay, Wine, go change and I'll have dinner prepared for us." Before Jungkook exits the room, he refers Wine here affectionately and left. Wine, touched by his gesture, sighs as she sits on her bed, feeling her heart race with affection. She dramatically rests her hand near her heart and whispers, "Oh, why he's so charming. My heart might explode if he keeps treating me like this. Oh, I really like him so much." Meanwhile, Jungkook enters the kitchen and sees Wine, his young caretaker, washing dishes with her back turned. He walks over and calls out to her, "Wine." Wine, a young woman in her 20s whom Jungkook hired to help with cooking and cleaning, jumps at the sound of his voice and quickly turns around, her expression nervous. She responds timidly, "Yes, sir." Jungkook has noticed that Wine seems anxious around him, though he's unsure why. He used to her nervousness by now, but realizes there might be some confusion how there are two Wine in the house. He takes a deep breath and tries to clarify the situation. "Wine," he says, "I need to explain something. The girl who came with me today is my adopted daughter, and her name is also Wine. I need you to make some plain soup for her because she's not feeling well. Can you do that?" She nods, understanding his request without asking for more details. Jungkook then heads to his room. Once he's gone, Wine sighs in relief and smiles. She quietly says to herself, "He adopted a girl. Oh, how much can you win my heart?" Wine has a crush on Jungkook but is afraid that if she finds out, he might fire her. To avoid this, she tries to act normally but ends up doing extra work. Jungkook, interpreting her extra effort as discomfort, tends to stay in his room as much as possible. Wine works only in evenings and leaves before the dark since Jungkook is out for work during the day and eats his meals elsewhere. After a while, the younger Wine will call younger Wine to the girl whom he adopted. So younger steps out of her room and notices Wine, the caretaker, working in the kitchen with her back turned. She had not expected another woman to be in Jungkook's house and feels pang of jealousy. Who is she? She whispered to herself, girlfriend, wife. Is Angel not single? Her heart sinks at the thought. Just as her heart begins to break, Jungkook approaches from behind and stands beside her, gently resting his head on her shoulder. She looks up at him, her sadness evident on her face. Jungkook smiles warmly. Her name is also Wine. She is a cook and caretaker here. Feel free to ask her for any help. She's here to assist you. His smile brings a small, relieved smile to her younger Wine face. Oh, I thought she might be someone else, she replies, her voice tinged with lingering disappointment. Jungkook clarifies, no, she's not someone else, she's just a caretaker. I am single and I'll let you know if I ever fall for anyone, okay? The younger Wine notes, so the idea of Jungkook being with someone else still bothers her. She forces a smile and responds, okay. Her smile is strained, but she hums softly, trying to mask her lingering feelings of jealousy. As the younger Wine watches her, she feels a mix of envy and admiration. She thinks the cook Wine is so beautiful and poised. How can I ever measure up to her? This thought makes her heart ache even more, deepening her feelings of jealousy and longing. She feels torn between her admiration for the cook and her own heart attack over cook's potential romantic interest. On the other side of the house, Wine, the caretaker, is feeling a mix of emotion. She is relieved to learn that Jungkook is single, but also saddened by the thought that he might have a girlfriend someday. She doesn't know anything about Jungkook's personal life beyond the fact that he is her boss who pays her to cook and clean for him. Jungkook calls out, Wine, is dinner ready? Wine turns around and replies, yes sir, please have a seat. The younger Wine feels envious seeing another woman in Jungkook's house, particularly because she doesn't measure up in the terms of appearance, especially since her hair is falling out due to the cancer. She watches as Wine, the cook, begins setting the table. She places the bowl of plain soup in front of her and arranges a plate of fried rice with the various side dishes for Jungkook. Both of them sit across each other at the dining table. She glances enviously at the delicious food on Jungkook's side. Feeling a pang of sadness, she begins eating her soup. For the past 6 months since her cancer diagnosis, she has been restricted to plain foods. While she understands the necessity, it doesn't make it any easier to see such tempting dishes in front of her. Jungkook notices her downcast expression and immediately understands her spoken discomfort. He calls out to Wine, Wine, take this food and bring me some soup as well. Wine, who is in the kitchen, hurries back, thinking that Jungkook might not like the taste of the food. Sir, what happened? Jungkook looks at the younger Wine with a reassuring smile. I'll eat whatever Wine is allowed to eat from now on. She protests. No, Angel, you don't have to do that. I am okay. Jungkook responds firmly. Why can't I? You're my family. She feeling frustrated say. Angel, it's not that easy. You've suffered enough. I don't want you to go through this too, and you're healthy and in a great shape. Jungkook insists, I can do that, she adds younger Wine. But you will lose your abs and muscular body, Angel. In her mind, the cook Wine also thinks, yeah, please tell him, but stands quietly, feeling she has no right to interrupt. But agreeing with the younger Wine's conscious concerns, Jungkook continues, Wine, I know how to maintain myself, don't worry about me. Jungkook says firmly, no more argument, just eat quietly. Wine, take this and serve me the soup. Wine, still feeling upset that her crush now has to eat the plain food, doesn't blame the younger Wine for her condition but can't shake the sadness from her face. The younger Wine notices this and wonders why the cook feels so dejected, realizing that she might indeed have feelings for Jungkook. The younger Wine reflects, why is she feeling sad about this? Maybe she likes him too. Angel's his way of making everyone fall for him effortlessly. His handsome face, his muscular body, and his caring nature. Is she my competitor? Should I see her as a rival? After dinner, Jungkook sends her to her room to rest and heads into the kitchen. The moment he walks near her, Wine heart races. Jungkook notices her unease and sighs. He says, "As you can see, she's not well. She has been suffering from the blood cancer for a long time, and due to the carelessness or whatever, there are so many children in the orphanage that they couldn't detect it until it reached to the fourth stage. So can you move in here? I can't leave her alone because of work, but I will increase your salary." Wine responds, "It's okay, sir. I will move in by tomorrow morning." Jungkook smiles and says, "Thank you, Wine. Thank you so much." Wine is captivated by his smile, marveling at how someone can be so beautiful. Before she can react, she turns away flustered. This behavior confuses Jungkook, but he never asks her about it. Jungkook adds, the food will go to waste, so you should eat it and take some home, okay?" Why notes facing away as she waits for him to leave. Once he does, he sighs and whispers to herself, why does my heart beat so hard around him?" The younger one eyes widen and she overheard this hesitantly. She turned around to see younger one standing with crossed arms. The one, "You like him, right?" One panics and shakes her head. "No." The younger one replies, "Don't lie to me. I know you like him. That's why you get uncomfortable when he's near you, because you're worried about losing your job if he finds out." Wine is stunned. "How do you know all that?" The younger one responds, "I may be sick, but I still have my mind. I observe things. I don't know why he hasn't figured it out yet." Wine begins to imagine what would happen if Jungkook ever found out. She pictures him yelling at her, looking disgusted, and immediately snaps out of it. She pleads, "Please don't tell him. I can't afford to lose this job. I'll do whatever you say. Just don't tell him." The younger one agrees, "Okay, I won't, but promise me you'll stop trolling over him. It's unprofessional. What will he think about you?" "I promise I won't even look at him, but please don't tell him." The younger one reassures her, "Okay, okay, don't cry. I won't tell him, but remember you promised me. Don't forget." After Van notes, the younger one turns and heads towards her room, stretching her arms and smiling. She giggles and runs inside, feeling relieved. Meanwhile, Van is left feeling sad, knowing she has promised but unsure how she will stop herself from admiring the next morning. Van quietly moves her belongings into the servant's room before anyone else wakes up. After unpacking, she heads to the kitchen to prepare coffee for Jungkook. Soon after, Jungkook emerges dressed in his office suit. "Van, my coffee." He takes a seat on the sofa as Wine walks in, carefully placing the coffee mug on the table. Without saying a word, she turns and walks out of the room. Jungkook watches her with puzzled expression. Jungkook mutters to himself, "What's with her? Oh, never mind." He shrugs off his confusion and focuses on the coffee, realizing that no matter how hard he tries, understanding her will be difficult. After finishing her cleaning duties, Vi notices that it's already 11 a.m. and the younger Vine hasn't emerged from the room yet. Curious, she decided to check on her. She finds the younger Vine sound asleep, snoring softly. Vine smiles at the sight, but her attention is drawn to the diary that rests on the younger Vine's stomach, likely left open from when she fell asleep while writing. Vine picks up the diary carefully, her curiosity piqued. She glances at the open page and reads the words, "I know it's wrong to fall for someone who is 11 years older than me, but what can I do? Angel is so handsome and no one can resist." Vine gives softly, her hand flying to her mouth. She's shocked to discover that she has feelings for Jungkook. Recalling Jungkook's earlier explanation, her being his adopted father, Vine realizes the complexity of the situation. She muttered to herself, "This isn't right." Her voice is loud enough to make the younger one, who sits up abruptly and snatching the diary away. The younger one, sounding defensive and annoyed, demands, "What are you doing in my room?" Vine responds, "You like him." The younger one explains, "You read my diary. How could you? It's private." Vine, don't try to avoid the issue. You like him, don't you? The younger one, with a touch of defense, admits, "Yes, I like him. What will you do about it? And don't interfere in my personal life." "I am going to tell him." The younger one challenges, "Are you thinking I'll beg you not to?" "Well, no, Miss Vine, I won't do that. Even if you do beg, I'm not changing my mind. He adopted you. This is wrong and unethical." The younger one retorted, "Do whatever you want, but just leave. I don't want to see you right now." As Vine leaves the room, the younger Vine imagines Jungkook's reaction. In her imagination, Jungkook says, "I adopted you, Vine, and you have feelings for me. I am 11 years older than you. I see you as my sister. How could you be so inappropriate?" Shaken by the thought, the younger Vine finds herself in the kitchen. "Please, Vine, I'm begging you. Don't tell him. He'll send me back to the orphanage. Please, I'll do whatever you ask." Vine sighs and says, "Okay, but only on one condition." The younger Wine asks, what condition? Wine, you can't have any issue with me admiring him. I should be free to look at him as much as I want. The younger Wine agrees, of course, I won't mind. He's worth admiring. We both know he's out of our reach. Let's keep our feeling to ourselves. Deal. They shake hands, sealing their agreement. The one asks, friends? Wine smiles and replies, yes, friends. Let's keep our feeling to ourselves.